In this video, we were doing a GCSE question where we have to take the surface area of this prism, and we have to turn it into a quadratic. So here's our question. This shape is a solid prism. The cross section of the prism is a trapezium. Show that the total surface area of the prism is 82x squared plus 32x minus 12. So what we're going to do is we're going to find the surface area of the individual sides, and then we're going to move ahead and start adding them together so we end up with our quadratic. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take the side on the right. So this is one of the easier ones to do. So we have a rectangular shape here, and since it's a rectangle, the area of a rectangle is base times height. And so for our area, we have our base, which is x plus 2, and we have our height as 5x, and we're going to expand our brackets. So we're going to multiply 5x by x and 5x by 2. So this will give us 5x squared plus 10x. Now, since this prism is symmetrical or seemingly symmetrical, we're going to double this area because this area is the same on the other side of the prism. So if we multiply 5x squared plus 10x by 2, this is equal to 10x squared plus 20x. And now we will label this section of the surface area as A. So we will just label it as that. Now we're going to move on and find the top surface area. So this is another rectangle, and so we do once again do area is equal to base times height, and we have our base as 5x minus 3, and since it is a prism, the depth of the prism will be the same all the way around it, so we can have our height as x plus 2. By expanding the brackets, so we get 5x times x and 5x times 2, and we get minus 3 times x and minus 3 times 2. So when we multiply this out, we get 5x squared plus 10x minus 3x minus 6. And now if we simplify it, we get 5x squared plus 7x minus 6. And so this is the area of the top side of our prism. And we're going to label this area as B. Now, moving on to our next side, we're going to have the base here. And so for the base, we're going to have once again a rectangle. And so, as always, area of a rectangle is equal to base times height. Our base length here is 13x minus 3. And our height, as explained on the previous slide, is x plus 2. And we're going to expand out our brackets. So we're going to have 13x times x and 13x times 2. We have minus 3 times x and minus 3 times 2. So when we expand our brackets, we get area is equal to 13x squared plus 26x minus 3x minus 6. And once we simplify that, we get it equal to 13x squared plus 23x minus 6. And this is the area of the base of the prism. And we're going to label this area as C. And now that leaves us with our front facing side. And so we have the area of a trapezium here. So an area of the trapezium is equal to so our equation for this is half times A plus B multiplied by H, and so where A and B are the top and bottom sides. So in this case, our A is at the top there and B is at the bottom, and H is the height of our trapezium. So with the sides that we've allocated for our letters and the lengths that we have, we're going to substitute it into our equation for the area. So we get area is equal to half times 5x minus 3 plus 13x minus 3. Have that all multiplied by 3x. So when we simplify this down, we get area is equal to half times 18x minus 6 times 3x. And now, since this side is also replicated on the back of the prism, we can multiply this area by 2. And if we multiply it by 2, we can cancel out our half here and our 2 here. And we get 3x times 18x minus 6. Now what we can do is we can multiply into our brackets and expand this. So we get 3x times 18x and then 3x times minus 6. And this is equal to 54x squared minus 18x. We will label this set of area as D. Now, to end off, we're going to add A, B, C, and D. So, our value for A, 10x squared plus 20x. Now we add our value for B, so we have plus 5x squared plus 7x minus 6. Now we add our value for C, so we have plus 13x squared plus 23x minus 6. And now we add our value for D, which we have here as plus 54x squared minus 18x. Now, let's add all these terms together. So let's do our x squareds first. So we have 10x squared, 5x squared, 13x squared, and 54x squared. When we add these all together, we get 82x squared. Now let's do our x's. So we have 20x, 7x, 23x, and minus 18x. So we adding them all together, we get plus 32x. And now we add our integer values here. So we have our 1 minus 6. And we have another one here. And so we get minus 12. If we compare this value of 82x squared plus 32x minus 12 to the value we had in the question above, we can see that the answer we have got is same to the value that they've given in the question. So we have shown, as asked in the question, that the total surface area of the prism that they have given is 82x squared plus 32x minus 12. As always, thank you for watching and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any new content.